Hi, this is Kim with Mom's Creative Moments. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to continue in my Ireland travel scrapbook, and we're actually going to do one of the February virtual crop layouts. I think this is layout number 3, and it actually goes together very quickly. So you may have noticed that the time on this particular layout is very minimal, and that's because the layout is so fantastic and easy, and definitely a quick one for you to be able to get your pages done in a fast and friendly fashion. So let's check out my workspace. We'll get started, and yeah, I think you're going to like this one. All right, so this is my workspace for today. This layout is taken from the February virtual crop for this month, and so I actually think this video, by the time it airs, it will be airing in March, and I apologize for that, but I had to get through a few things before I could get to it, and so several of the next couple of layouts in this series are going to be the virtual crop layouts from February, and they will hopefully bring you up to speed if you are working on trying to complete the year's worth of virtual crop layouts and fill out that tracker at the end of the year. So this one actually goes together pretty quick and easily, I think. So we're going to do sketch number 3, which has these strips that basically outline the edges of it, or 3 of the 4 edges of it. And we are beginning day 2 on our trip. Technically it's day 2. It's the second morning of our travel experience, so I'm calling it day 2, but it's basically our very first day that we've are arriving in Dublin. So you know, you could call it our first day of vacation, but it's technically the second morning that we were traveling. So I'm calling it day 2, just so that you know, are on the same page as me. Grabbing my trimmer because we're going to need to cut some things. But first, let me just tell you what I've got here. I've got some photos from our arrival and photo pictures outside the airplane, and then pictures of us meeting our cousin at the airport and meeting our tour guide and getting all squared away. Those are the photos that are going to go on today's 2-page layout. So I'm going to just set them up here until we can get to them, and I've got my permanent and repositionable adhesive, although we probably will just be mainly using permanent today. I've got my daily markers, so my rainbow and my shamrock with the day marked in gold, and that will go on our layout at some point as well. I have 2 pieces of, sorry, that's my page. So I have 2 Spargo pages, which are Creative Memories hinged pages for my album that are out here. I have 2 decorative double-sided designer pages, pardon me, that came from the National Scrapbook Day of 2021 kit. And so they are this beautiful ombre kind of style portrait blending of blues and greens and a little bit of yellow in there and white. Very pretty. I have this beautiful green plaid that comes from scrapbooks.com. On the back side of that is a Celtic knot design, which is very indicative of Ireland, Scotland, and this area of the world. So I'm excited to use both sides of this paper today. So we're going to, these 2 are essentially going to be base pages. This paper is going to represent our decorative the decorative portion, and a mat will be cut from this. So, and that's basically all we're going to do for this layout. So let's get to it, okay? We're going to cut 4 pieces, 4 1-inch strips from this plaid. So I'm going to measure to the 1-inch mark on the right hand side of my cutting line and go ahead and cut. And I'm just going to do that 4 times. So the trick with doing a layout like this and only using one piece of paper is liking both sides of the paper, because we need to be able to flip a couple of the pieces over. So as long as you like both sides, then you should be good to go. Then I need a mat that's going to be 4.5 by 6.5. So I'm going to go ahead and cut a long piece here that's going to be 4.5. So now measuring on the left hand side of my cutting line, measuring at 4.5. That piece is extra. And we're going to measure horizontally at 6.5. So let me move my leg out, my trimmer leg out, so I can find 6.5 accurately and cut that. This is going to be an extra piece we'll use on another layout, I'm sure. This is the only mat we're going to use on this layout. Now, I could use the rest of this and create some mats from it if I chose. So it's possible that we could use this for mats. Let's see, this is going to be, I've got roughly 3.5 inches to work with here. Let me go ahead and just trim off the edge so we don't have that white scrapbooks.com logo on the side. Someday when I grow up, when my YouTube channel grows up, I may have sponsors. Maybe they might want to sponsor me. We'll see how that all works out. I don't know how that happens, but lots to learn, lots and lots to learn. So this piece is going to be 4.5 by, wait for it, by 5.5. So we'll see what we come up with when we get that far. For now, let's go ahead and get these strips adhered and our base pages adhered so that we can get moving, because this layout should go together really, really quickly. So bear with me. I'm going to go ahead and adhere my base pages and I'll be right back. So on each of these sides, I am just adding about 1/2 inch of adhesive in about 5 different places, each corner, and then in the center and in between the center and each corner, there is a little bit. That's more than enough adhesive for what we are completing. And I've just flipped over this page just so that we have a little bit different design on this side of the layout. So it doesn't look exactly the same. All right, so now what I'm going to do is go ahead and take these strips, and we're going to put one strip of the Celtic knot on the outer edge, So like so. Ooh, I need more of this one. I don't know what I was thinking. I need 8 of these. All right. So that's another reason why we should really like what we've got. Let's see if I can do, I don't think I can do enough with this, but I should be able to get 3 more out of this. I don't know what I was thinking. There's that one. All right. So something akin to that. Now I need to find one more piece of that. Well, that was easy. Sometimes I have... One of these days I'm going to do a video of how everything is organized on my desk and let y'all see what I do and how I live on the other side of this camera. I don't know if I'm brave enough to do it just now, though. Sorry. Okay, so we've got that. That looks slightly different, but not too much. I think we'll be okay. All right. So I think what I want to do is go ahead and I'm going to add the Celtic knot side about 3/8 of an inch from the edge. So not a full 1/2 of an inch, but not just a 1/4 either. Somewhere in between. Okay. Then I'm going to add the one that goes across. Roughly the same distance from the bottom. And really it doesn't matter exactly what your distance is as long as you're consistent and make this the same as this. So, you know, I try to help people realize that you don't need to stress about that. As long as you're consistent and it's the same on both sides, you're good. This one's going to go on top. And again, about that same distance from each other. And then this one will go on the very top. This scrapbook.com paper seems like it has kind of a shiny coating to it, and as a result I'm noticing it's not grabbing onto my adhesive as well. So just keep that in mind if you're using a product that's not Creative Memories. It may react differently than what you're used to. Alright, so then we're going to go ahead and do the long edge again. Come on. See, my adhesive is not wanting to stick to it. That's why I mentioned it. Seems unusual to me. I don't know why it's reacting that way. Now I'm just putting my pages together to get an idea where this one should go so that it is at the same place, at the same height as the one on the page next to it. Because you want them to be reasonably the same. Not too far off anyway. There we go. Okay. So there's our basic layout. Now what we're going to do is come in here and play with where the photos are going to go. I am taking a look at the way the sketch is written. We've got the main photograph on the left with some journaling and an additional photograph, and then more photos on the right hand side. But the way that my photos kind of align, I have these two that are actually of on the plane, information from the flight as we were arriving that I wanted to add in there. And then we've got these beautiful pictures of the island from the air, which turned out, I think, pretty cool. So I have a lot of photos, a lot more photos than what they have here, despite the fact that there are 6 photos shown in this layout. So I'm going to kind of rearrange things just a little bit in order to try to accommodate more pictures. Okay, so let me just hold on to this for a second and let's wait and see where the photos end up and what we might want to frame to give it more of more emphasis. So what I might do is trim the bottom of this one so that it's a little bit more so it fits in that spot a little bit better. This was us arriving at the airport. This is the airport, so those two need to be trimmed just a little bit. And actually, this one, we actually sat on the runway for quite some time waiting for our turn to find a gate. They did not have a gate available for us at first. So we did the best we could and waited our turn. This is our driver, Tony Corcorran. He was fantastic. Little Jim's Tours, and I looked it up just to make sure I had his last name correct, and discovered that they are fully booked for the remainder of this year, but you could book your tour for 2025 if you want to go to Ireland next year. I highly recommend them, and booking in advance is well worth it. That's what we did, and it worked out very, very well. So this is our family. This is everybody that came with us. This is my cousin. She met us over there. And the rest of that group all came along with us. You can see my son kind of peeking in the back. But we had a group of 9 of us, and then Tony made 10, and we had a fantastic time. All right, so which one of these should we be framing is the question of the moment, and I think it's going to be the group down here, but I'm probably going to need that other mat instead. That was a little small. Maybe we'll trim this bigger mat so that it's a little bit not quite so far on this end. And I'm going to just trim up a couple of these photos just a little bit real quick, and then we'll be back to figure out where our day marker is going to go. All right, so I think that's going to work. We'll have this overlap that photo just a smidge so that we can see all of that and enjoy it. Now where to put this guy? Well, we actually arrived in Dublin at 11 o'clock in the morning on this second day of our journey. So we had a little bit of a day left, not a lot, but a little bit. I think I'm going to put it right down there, and then I can add a little bit of a journal box in. Maybe we can add that in somewhere over here. Add that in right here. Let's see. I had a couple things we could do for the journal box. We could do that little thing right there, which actually I think is cute. And then just add a couple maybe we should put this one over here. And we'll add just a couple of little shamrocks. With that, you are the pot of gold at the end of my rainbow. That's that. And I think that's all I'm going to do. We'll add some journaling to this box. Maybe add just another little tiny shamrock. I don't know. In there somehow. Maybe like that. And I think that will be that. All right. I'll get all this adhered down and then get this video processed and posted for you. Let me know what you think in the comments. And you may, if you are participating in the CM virtual crop, you will probably see this posted there before you see the video posted on my channel, because I have things structured of when to release videos on my channel. But I can post it to there as soon as I'm able. So as soon as it's completed. So you'll likely see it there sooner. But I hope you don't mind. I hope that doesn't spoil things if you see them ahead of time. But just know that great things are coming, and I'm excited. We are going to see some fun things. And until I visit with you again next time, I hope you have many more creative moments. This was a quick one today, but sometimes fast ones are fun. We'll see you soon. Take care.